a group of people kidnapped some girls and forced them to make money by serving clients. A Korean girl with a high IQ looks after each of them. Hey, before we dive into the story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. A guy tied up a girl's hands and feet and tossed her into the trunk of a car. The day before that, a girl named Hyun was living with her parents and helping out at their family store. Her dad gave her a ring as a gift, and then Hyun asked her mom if she could go out that night with her friends. That night, Hyun hit up a bar with her best friend, and while there, she spotted a guy who looked like a firefighter. Hyun and her friend chatted with the firefighter, and he suggested they take a ride together. The boy made a phone call before he left. At midnight, Hyun and the boy were cruising around the city when he decided to pull over for another phone call. Once he kissed Hyun, he hopped out of the car and made the call. A little while later, a car pulled up behind them. The boy went over and chatted with the car. In that moment, Hyun figured out the firefighter uniform was a sham and made a run for it from the car. But they got her. The next day, a senior police officer named Bob was following a GPS signal. When he got to the spot, he saw that 2 other police officers had already reached the body that was attached to her foot. Bob asked the 2 officers if they had reported the incident to anyone, and they said they hadn't. So Bob went to his car, grabbed his revolver, came back, and shot the 2 police officers. So Hyun was in the trunk of a truck with 2 other girls, and those girls were so scared they ended up peeing themselves. A little while later, Hyun woke up in a bedroom and noticed her hand was tied to the bed. She spotted a guy named Ivan who was dozing off, and then a Native American woman in a nurse's outfit came into the room and gave Hyun an injection. The woman looked at Hyun's teeth. Then they gave her a bath and put a GPS tracker on her ankle. Hyun was placed in a room with another girl named Priscilla. There were some other girls living there as well. Bob and a boy named Vaughn showed up and put a box full of kittens in the room. Svetlana, the head girl, was asked to let the girls know to each take a kitten. Bob told the girls that the area around here is desert for 50 miles. Then he showed them the bracelet from the dead girl and said, "This is what happens to anyone who tries to escape." So, Bob went over to Hyun with her file and said, "From now on, your name is Eden. If you mess up, we know where your family lives and we'll come after them. You've got to stick to the rules, shower twice daily, and make sure our clients are happy." Eden spotted the ring her dad had given her on Vaughn's hand. The following day, they handed out pregnancy tests to all the girls to see who was pregnant. So, Vaughn handed Eden and Priscilla some clothes and drove them to a house in a van. In that house, they had a video camera and they put the footage up on the dark web. Eden and Priscilla got handcuffed, and then a woman with a whip showed up and started beating them right in front of the camera. That night, Eden was in tears and Priscilla was there to comfort her. The next day, they brought Eden to a house to help one of their clients. But things went sideways when Eden hurt the client and bolted from the scene. But Vaughn was able to catch her. That night, they placed Eden in a bathtub and covered her with ice to prevent her from doing it again. When Bob found out, he slapped Vaughn and told everyone to toss the kittens into the river. A year went by, and Priscilla chatted with Eden about Svetlana. Priscilla mentioned to Eden that Svetlana had earned Vaughn's trust, which is why she was the only one allowed to have her Priscilla mention to Eden that she had been there for 3 years, and sometimes they got taken to Dubai. Then, out of nowhere, someone showed up and took Priscilla away to a place we didn't know. Eventually, Eden completed everything they requested of her. When they brought her back to the prison in a van, she hid her shoe heel and took it inside to kill Svetlana. Svetlana had become Priscilla's new roommate, and Vaughn had given Eden's ring to her. At midnight, Eden went after Svetlana, but a guard stepped in to break it up. To teach Eden a lesson, Vaughn made her swallow the ring. Right then, she began spilling the beans on Svetlana and said to Vaughn, "You made her your accountant, but she's taking money from you." Eden suggested he make her the accountant instead, since she had been working in her parents' store since she was a kid and was good at it. Vaughn agreed and appointed Eden as his accountant. They hit up a party with a couple of other girls. Eden got the cash from the host, but at the party, Vaughn noticed that the 2 girls had disappeared. He attempted to follow them using the GPS trackers on their ankles, but he just couldn't find them. While Vaughn was driving, Eden noticed the 2 girls in a shop and pointed them out to him. That night, Eden went to the bathroom and discovered her ring in her poop. Later on, since Eden helped Vaughn, he started treating her better. Rather than renting her out, he brought her to his house and had her take care of the cleaning. So, Vaughn took Svetlana out of the phone room, took her cat, and put Eden in the phone room instead. He said to her, "Our clients never ask about the price. If someone does, it means they're with the police. Just hang up right now." So later on, Vaughn showed Eden how to drive. Eden wanted to thank him, so she asked if she could have some of Vaughn's ice cream, but he said no because he was worried she might hurt him. The following day, the phone rang and Eden picked it up. A client requested to hire 2 girls. He asked for the price at the end of the call. Eden answered, thinking it was a call from the police and that she might get freed. The following day, we find Bob hanging out by a river. Eden and Vaughn approach him, and Vaughn pulls 2 bodies out of the van to bury them. Eden sees that one of the bodies is Svetlana. So, Bob takes them out on a boat to fish in the middle of the lake. On the boat, Bob throws out some sarcastic comments at Vaughn, and then Vaughn takes him out. A few days later, Vaughn brings Eden and another girl to one of his friends' places. Eden spots the same guy who had tossed her into the trunk. Eden spots a room in that house that's set up for childbirth. Eden spots Priscilla in the next room, and she's pregnant now. She quickly leaves the room to avoid raising any suspicion. On the way back, Eden asks Vaughn about the room for childbirth. Vaughn tells her that they sell the babies born there. So, on the way, Vaughn makes Eden kill the girl who was with them to test her loyalty. Eden's about to take the girl out, but just in time, Vaughn steps in and sees her loyalty. As they hop into the car and head back to their hideout, Vaughn learns that their spot has been compromised. Eden believes it's due to the phone call she took, but Vaughn has a hunch it's Ivan. So Ivan's stuck in a bathtub filled with ice, and then they go ahead and take him out with a sledgehammer. They move the girls to a different hideout in a truck. So Vaughn takes Eden to his place, and they make plans to catch a flight to Dubai and escape. So when Vaughn's not looking, Eden goes ahead and mixes a chemical with something that ends up killing Vaughn. Eden grabs some scissors to unlock her ankle tracker, swipes his wallet and a few syringes, and heads over to where her friend Priscilla is being kept. Eden is offering cash to the guy with Priscilla, asking him to let her friend go. The man just shakes his head and says, "With this money, you can only see your friend for 5 minutes." Eden's on board, but while heading to see Priscilla, she takes out the guy and rescues Priscilla. They get away together. Eden calls her mom while they're making their escape. When her mom hears her daughter's voice, she gets super happy and starts crying.